leaving off from last video, we've got a statement where we've multiplied both sides by a half. So now we should simplify. And I guess that technically should be the next one. Let's use the distributive property now. We do. Okay, I will use it. We'll use the distributive property in this moment. Distributive and simplify. So step 4, it's really kind of like 3a. I have a different step 4 here, but I guess before I get to this step 4, I should really make sure that the 180 pops out, because that's the important thing. So using distributive property, I'm going to distribute 1/2 to both of these terms, if you will, these numbers that are in the parentheses. 1/2 measure of u, q, d plus 1/2 times the measure of u, a, d equals 180. That's using the distributive property, and that's also simplifying the rewrite fraction, right? So distributive property, I'm going to say that right now as well, and rewrite fraction. No, is that it? Rewrite fraction? Don't worry about it. We're just done. Distributive property and simplify. That's it. And simplify. Okay, so now I'm ready for what I said was step 4 off of my notes. My step 4 was substitution. I know now that I have a 1/2 UAD in my problem, and I can replace that with angle Q. I have a 1/2 UQD, and I can replace that with a measure of angle A. So it's step 4 on my notes, but I realized I needed to push an extra step in, and so I'm going to call this step 5. All right, the measure of angle A, because it's a straight swap, plus the measure of angle Q, because that's a straight swap. That's what the brainstorm paper on the other side did for us, equals 180. That's our pal substitution. Okay, last part, the good part. If those two angles add up to 180, then they have to be supplementary. And we need to say that because that is also what it says in the proof we're supposed to do. Prove that those two angles are supplementary. So that is our step 6. I have it listed as step 5 in my notes, but we needed to add that extra distributive property step, so it's okay. Angle A and angle Q are supplementary. And the reason is definition of supplementary angles. This is almost ready to go into the book. So in order to be ready to go into the book, there's the other prove statements. And here, let me get you a picture of everything all at once. Okay, this is the entire notes paper all the way from start to finish. And this should go on your own paper, not in the book yet. Because, by the way, pause right here, take a screenshot, or pause the video just to look. Okay, we're back. So what I'm going to do is essentially the same argument, but instead of focusing on Q and A, now I'm going to focus on D and the arc QUA. Let's bring in some yellow now. And the angle U. That's the trick, right? We've already done all of the work for Q and A angles. We just need to rotate to the angle D and angle U. And so I'm going to use this pen, and I'm going to insert the steps into this for the exact same reason. QUA is an arc. ADQ is an arc. They make a full circle. So the measure of QUA plus the measure of ADQ equals 360. Same reason. Arc addition creates a circle. Then I can say this. I can say angle U, the measure of angle U is 1/2. Okay, so angle U is here, and it's ADQ. The measure of ADQ by inscribed angle theorem. The measure of angle D equals 1/2. The measure, and then let's see, Angle D is here, so the arc is QUA. QUA for the inscribed angle theorem. Now, I can take these two arcs and I can add them together. Let me zoom in so that YouTube is not like so messed up for you. Okay, I can take these two arcs and I can add them together, but I can also multiply them by 1/2. So I'm going to do this step down here. 1/2 the measure of QUA plus the measure of arc ADQ equals 1/2 times 360 by the multiplication property. Okay. Then with the distributive property, that means 1/2 the measure of arc QUA plus 1/2 times the measure of arc ADQ equals 180 by distributive property, and simplify. So then with a substitution, these two make angle U. These two make angle D. And they equal 180 by the substitution property. So the last part, these two angles add to 180. So I'm going to say it. Angle D and angle U are supplementary by the definition of supplementary angles. Okay, pause right here. Make sure you get all of that too. You guys, that's the proof. That's the whole thing. It's time to go put this into the book. But from a brainstorm, where we just tried it out, to seeing the relationships of the actual numbers and then naming them, to getting some statements where it started to look like we could actually have the given and the prove seam up or together, line up. Then we needed to do the hard part, and the hard part is filling in the middle. How do you know they do? Maybe we need to actually think about like what we've already talked about, the angles in a circle adding to 360, dividing by 2, making 180. After that, we built it in the black ink for just one pair of angles. Because once you do the hard work for one pair of angles, then you get to copy and slightly line up for the other pair of angles. Stick around for part D now, right? We're gonna actually put this into the textbook, and these 2 pages are gonna go like in that actual section or in your notebook. See you in the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.